Today we will discuss something that you have heard so many times. But now, we will dive deep into its fundamentals. Our topic of the day is democracy. What is democracy? Originated in ancient Greece, the word democracy comes from two Greek words. That is, demos, which mean people, and kratos, which mean rule. Democracy is the idea that the citizens of a country should take an active role in the government of their country and manage it directly or through elected representatives. In addition, it supports the idea that the people can replace their government through peaceful transfers of power rather than violent uprising or revolution. Thus, a key part of democracy is that the people have a voice. Therefore, democracy is a form of government which is of the people, for the people, and by the people. But you can also see how it works even in your daily life. Be it your student council elections, or choosing a captain for a friendly cricket match. You can find democracy from your school to the country's administration. Since 1951, during every general elections, millions of Indians vote and elect their prime minister representative for a tenure of 5 years. But this is not true for our neighboring country Myanmar, which has militant rule and the head of the army is the head of the country. Thus, Myanmar is not a democracy. Now, one by one, we will discuss what are the features of a democratic government. First, major decision-making powers reside with the elected members. Let's see why this is important. In Pakistan, General Musharraf led a military coup in 1999, and overthrew the democratically elected government to become the president. In 2002, he held a referendum, a general poll, which was based on malpractices and granted him a 5-year extension. After passing the legal framework order, which gave the president power to dismiss the national and provincial assemblies, elections were held to the respective assemblies, but elected representatives had nominal powers. The final power rested with military officers and General Musharraf himself. So, this should not be called a democracy. In a democracy, the final decision-making power must rest with those elected by the people. Second, free and fair electoral competition. In China, elections are held after every 5 years for electing the country's parliament called National People's Congress. Before contesting elections, a candidate needs the approval of the Chinese Communist Party, which forms the government every time. Mexico holds elections after every 6 years to elect its president. But until 2000 every election was won by a party called PRI, the Institutional Revolutionary Party. Opposition parties did contest, but never managed to win as PRI was known to use many dirty tricks to win elections. Both the cases should not be called a democracy. A democracy must be based on a free and fair election where those currently in power have a fair chance of losing. Third, every citizen is allowed to vote in the elections. There are many instances of denial of equal right to vote. In Saudi Arabia, women did not have the right to vote till 2015. Estonia has made its citizenship rules in such a way that people belonging to Russian minority find it difficult to get the right to vote. In Fiji, the electoral system is such that the vote of an indigenous Fiji has more value than that of an Indian Fijian. In a democracy, each adult citizen must have one vote, and each vote must have one value. Fourth, everyone has the same political rights, whatever their income, race, religion, etc. Since independence, Zimbabwe was ruled by Robert Mugabe, leader of ZANU-PF. He was known to use unfair practices in elections. Elections have been held regularly and always won by ZANU-PF. Opposition party workers are harassed, public protests and demonstrations were declared illegal, television and radio were controlled and independent newspapers were harassed and manipulated. The government even pressurized court judges. In this case, government is not democratic as there is no citizens' basic rights, no political opposition and no judiciary. A democratic government rule within limits set by constitutional law and citizens' rights. So that was all about what is democracy. And, in the next video, we will explore why do we need democracy. Learn more about this topic, and chapters from other subjects as well, on the EduRev mobile app and website, for a better and happy learning.